Hey vinyl community, hey new wavers, it's Shad with Vinyl New Wave. Coming to you today with a video in a new series that I'm starting called Newer New Wave. And this is going to be a series where I talk about our old, good old new wave artists from the 80s that are releasing new music and kind of show some of the newer things from those old artists, but also I want to show some music from alternative artists that are coming out that are new. There's some really great music that's coming out nowadays that's in kind of a new wave synth pop, electronic, shoegaze, whatever, alternative rock genres. So, and I like a lot of that newer stuff too. So I picked that up, some of those things up too. So I just wanted to show those. So first I'm going to start off with a band that actually is local here to Salt Lake. And the name of that band is Choirboy. And this is their debut album, Passive with Desire. This album originally actually came out in 2016. I'll show, there's the cover, and then there's the back side. This album actually came out in 2016, but they've actually done several pressings of them. This is, I think, the third pressing. They do about 400 records each pressing, and they kind of rotate the colors. They've done different colors each time. This one is on you can see that it's got this, the lyrics here and a nice inner sleeve there. This is on what they call metallic red vinyl. It's kind of tough to see on the camera, but it's red and there's some kind of a little bit of a metallic swirl in there. It's kind of got a shimmer in there. Choirboy's a great band. They've got kind of a shoegaze, synth wave kind of a sound to them. It's the lead singer. He's got a really kind of a high falsetto kind of voice that he uses a lot, and it's a really interesting sounding album. If you get into shoegaze and that, definitely give Choirboy a listen. I know that they've done a lot of touring around the Western United States. I think they've been out the last few weeks up in, I want to say that up in the Northwest, up in the Pacific Northwest, but I don't remember. But yeah, they're definitely an up and coming band. They've some great stuff that come out of here in Salt Lake. The next band is another newer band, and I can't remember where they're from, but they toured with Gary Newman on his last tour. Sorry. And that band is Nightmare Air, and this is their album Fade Out. When I heard them on their opening set for Gary Newman, it's been almost 2 years now, I was blown away. They had a really great tight sound, and really rocked it. So when they were done, I went back to the merch table and bought their album and had them sign it for me. Really great album. If it's an alt rock. It's definitely got more of a rock feel to it. But give them a listen. And also, I remember seeing this last week in the deep discount bargain bin for like $7. So you have no excuse. Go pick it up. It's cheap, and it's actually a really good album. So check them out, Nightmare Air. Now this next one I picked up a few months ago. There was a bunch of the people in the vinyl community were talking about feed bands having a $2 sale. where you could go onto their website and they had a selection of all of their back catalog that was $2 plus $5 shipping, so $7 a record. I went through and listened to a number of, I looked at the different bands that they had on there, and the ones that piqued my interest, I listened to some sound snippets, and I decided to purchase this one. The band is called Mind Cinema. The album is MDMA. It's an electronic. They're an electronic group. It's a pretty good album. There's definitely not a hit or anything on here, but it's great for like background music during a party or something. It's got a good mellow electronic sound, and it came on this really cool white and pink splattered vinyl. So if they have another deep sale and you're into electronic music, check out Mind Cinema on feedbands.com. And this next one is a band that I have grown to love over the last 10 years or so. And this is their new album. They're kind of an alternative rock out of the UK. It is Keane. This is their new album. It just got released the last couple of weeks. Cause and Effect. They've got a couple really great songs on here. The Way I Feel and Love Too Much are the two singles that they've released off of it so far. Couple really great songs. I'm a little kind of irritated with this whole album situation. I actually went on to their website and ordered their deluxe album version of this album back at the beginning of August, and they it was the album on black vinyl, and then it had a 10-inch in blue vinyl that had some live sessions and bonus tracks on it. And the release date came and went, and I never got a shipping notification, but I did get an email that said, hey, your album's on the way, come get your digital. So I went and downloaded the digital album and listened to it, and then 3 days later I got an email saying that my order had been canceled because they were out of stock. So they took my money, held on for it for 2 months, and took too many pre-orders for what they could fulfill, and then canceled. And then to add insult to injury, they did not refund give me a full refund because I had downloaded the digital album. So, and the digital is not even high quality MP3s, so I'm a little irritated. But the album is really good. I really like Keane. I just don't like the record label. And this one comes on this nice translucent orange vinyl. Looking forward to listening to that one. Now on to some of our original new wave artists. The first one, this album's been out a couple years now, but it's worth mentioning because I regularly pull this one out and put it on. I love this album. It's Gary Newman's Savage, Songs from a Broken World. When I first heard this album, it just blew me away. It just sounds amazing. It's got maybe a little bit darker sound than some of his other stuff. Almost early 9 Inch Nails kind of sounding stuff. But man, it's really powerful and really great. He toured quite extensively off this album. He actually came through Salt Lake twice, once 2 years ago in December when Nightmare Air opened for him, and then another time last year. And I went and saw him both times, and man, he just was amazing. So Gary Newman is definitely back in form, and he has another album that he's working on. He just the last 2 months released started a I can't remember what you call it, but if you buy in, if you pre-order the album now, then you get access to this area where he's uploading videos of him working on the new album, and you get to watch his creative process, and he interacts with the fans and stuff. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I'm going to the next time I get the opportunity. I'm looking forward to Gary Numan's next album to see how he follows that one up, because that was an amazing album. The next one was an album that came out last year at about this time, and it is the latest from Culture Club, Boy George and Culture Club. It's called Life. They toured ahead of this album, actually, last summer. They called it the Life Tour, and they had Tom Bailey from the Thompson Twins and B-52s opening for them. It was a great show. Tom Bailey, unfortunately, here in Salt Lake, had a lot of technical problems, so he didn't get to play his full set. The B-52s came on, and they were just kind of boring. But then Culture Club came on, and man, they just kind of brought the house down. They put on a really great show, and Boy George, the house, it was actually pretty empty. I think the promoter didn't do a great job of promoting it, and so it was kind of empty. But Boy George, he said, you know what, a party is, it doesn't matter if there's, 10,000 people or 2,000 people, we're still going to have a party. And so he put on a great show for even a pretty empty room, and it was amazing. It was a really great show. This album is actually really, really good. It's a good, solid effort from them. He's got a couple songs on here. Life and then Let Somebody Love You are both really great original tunes, and then they did a cover of Runaway Train from Gladys Knight. And that is a really great cover. And that album came on this nice yellow vinyl, and then the inner sleeve has got some Boy George artwork, and then the lyrics here. If you're a fan of Culture Club, I highly recommend you pick this album up. It's a really great one. This next album, this next artist, I actually saw live last summer as well. There's a big master planned community about 15 minutes away from here, and they have a summer concert series that they do in their central area. They've got like a little stage set up there, and usually it's just like local bands and tribute bands and stuff, but they actually had Berlin come last summer. It was a free concert out in the middle of their planned development. And I think there was some people that live out there that had some connections. But they sang 2 songs off this album last summer. I can't remember which one. I know Show Me Tonight was one of them. I don't remember the other one. But this is a great album. This is Berlin back in form. They've reunited. Terry Nunn, David Diamond, and John Crawford are all back together. The founding members of Berlin are back together, and they're working, and they put together this album. And really, it's a great album. I was really impressed with it. And it came out a month or 2 ago. And this one I picked up. It came on, they released it on 2 variants. They had a white version and a pink version. I picked up the pink one. But yeah, it's a great album. They just finished a tour with OMD and B-52s. They toured this summer. They came through town, but I didn't get to see them. I actually haven't gone to any concerts at all this summer. I didn't go to any this summer. I just busy and funds. So anyways, Berlin, Transcendance is the name of the album. Check it out. It's really great. And then finally, the last one I want to talk about today is from last year as well. and it is from Echo and the Bunnymen. It is called The Stars, the Oceans, and the Moon. This is it's got a mix of older songs and some newer songs, a few newer songs. And, but they're all done with strings arrangements, so violins and harps and cellos and whatever. I really like hearing albums. I really like when artists take their music and do it another way, something different than the album. I like acoustic versions and big band versions and country versions and things. I think it shows a lot for the songwriting if you can write a song one way and then have it be done another way and still work and sound great. And so I like to hear when artists can do that and really make it successful. So I was looking forward to picking this one up, but I hadn't picked it up yet. Last week I was at a local store and they were having a 20% off sale, 20% off everything in the store. And this was actually already in the discount bin because it has some damage on the cover. I don't know. I mean, you can't even see it, but like when they opened a box with a box cutter, they accidentally scored the cover here. So there's kind of a faint line that goes down the front of the cover. So I got this, you know, it was already under 20 bucks and then I got 20% off of that. So it was great. That album, I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. Probably will listen to it the next couple days. I'm going to be working from home. But it comes on this luminous vinyl. It actually is glow in the dark. I just tested it before I'm filming this. It was a limited edition on this glow in the dark luminous vinyl. So looking forward to that. So that's it for today. I've got several others that I want to do, and I'll probably do over the next I don't know. I want to do this maybe once every other month or every 6 weeks or something. Just show some newer stuff from the last couple of years. I'm not going to be bleeding edge. I don't buy a lot of stuff right out the gate. I buy a few things, but not a ton. So I've already got a few records in mind that I can show next video. So so this will be a series of newer new wave. This will just be the first of them. If you liked this video, by all means, please hit the thumbs up. If you liked any of the records that I mentioned, thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the little bell so you can be alerted when I upload new videos. And as always, thank you for watching, and until next time, you spin me around like a record, baby.